I need to ask you a favour. I need you to watch this next video clip. It's not of me. It's Mark Harper in the House of Commons. Now, bear in mind that this week the British government have said that vaccine passports will be mandatory for all sorts of things. They're starting off with clubs, but it's also going to be sporting events, it's going to be large venues events, it will be festivals, it's going to be places of religious worship. They've said not supermarkets yet. Thanks for that. Listen to Mark Harper. He's in the House of Commons and he's saying it's not reasonable. It would be outrageous to expect MPs to have a vaccine passport. Listen to his words as well. He says the vaccine passport and the vaccine is a medical procedure, that it would be outrageous to expect MPs to have this medical procedure. So why is it that employers are writing to people up and down the country right now saying if you don't have the vaccine, you've got 12 weeks and you're going to be out of a job? Why is it rules for thee but not for me? And I wonder, shouldn't we have full disclosure of just how many of these MPs who are foisting this vaccine on the rest of us, how many have had it for themselves? And if not, why not? Please take 2 minutes of your time to watch what is going on in the House of Commons and how MPs don't plan to have the vaccine passport for themselves.
Of order, Mr. Speaker, on which I have given you notice, and I've also notified the Leader of the House of Commons. You'll be aware yesterday a statement was made at the dispatch box by the Parliamentary Under-Secretary at the Department for Health and Social Care about vaccine passports, and there's a relevant piece, Mr. Speaker, which potentially pertains to the House of Commons. He said, by the end of September, everyone aged 18 and over will have had the chance to receive full vaccination and the additional 2 weeks for that protection to take hold. So at that point, we plan to make full vaccination a condition of entry to nightclubs and other venues where large crowds gather. Proof of a negative test will no longer be sufficient. Now, it seems to me, Mr. Speaker, particularly on a Wednesday, when we get back to normal, that definition could equally apply to this House of Commons. It would be outrageous if the Executive were to attempt to prevent any Member of Parliament attending this House to represent our constituents without first undergoing a medical procedure. Now, Mr. Speaker, I raised it with you because I hope you'll be able to make a ruling on this matter. And in closing, I would just note that your 17th century predecessor, Speaker Lenthal, stood up very effectively against an overmighty executive. And it didn't end well for the overmighty executive.
It did lead to the end of the monarchy as well, I might have, for a short period. So let's hope we're not quite going back that far. What I would say is I'm very grateful for the honourable member giving me notice, and I've had no indication that government considers the policy he has mentioned should apply to this House. What I would say, Speaker of this House, there is nothing to stop a member coming into here. You have the right to come to this House unless this House otherwise says so. And I've got to say, the government's not been in touch. I don't expect them to be in touch because, as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't apply to members.